That's a nice thing about building a Sling. You can literally choose whatever you want, you know, and I mean, you can personalize. This is her personal colors, personal paint scheme. And, you know, when which initially told me, you know, she's going to have this colors, I thought, I wonder what that's going to look like. And you know what? We've got, it's beautiful. We get so many people coming in and says, wow, look at that, you know, and the colors, it's just, and in the sun, this is a pearl white. So in the sun, it just lights up. So, so that's one of the things you can do. The other thing that's really nice with your, even as a builder, you can decide what your interior is going to look like. Okay, so don't look at this. There's no panel fitted. That will come. But so if you order your aircraft, there's a combination of colors. We've got light gray, dark gray, we've got blue, we've got red. And then if you really want some outlandish color, at a price, they can even do that for you. But that's, again, that's totally up to you, what you want to do. Even the stitching, the color of the stitching, you can specify exactly what you want. Your aircraft will be one of one. Yeah, because you can really, and especially if you build it yourself, it is truly unique. So the good thing about this is you can sit in the shade, which is a positive. So typically here, you can see that this is a quick build wing. So it's built by the factory up to the point where you have to fit the tanks, you have to fit the wingtip, you have to build flaps, build ailerons, but you can see that all your parts has been fully allodyne, and that is really good for your corrosion protection.
Yeah.
All right. So it will come as a quick build kit. Wings, fuselage, and some of the tail components will be built. But ultimately, you still have to do 51% of the build.
Yep.
So this is one that we are now busy finishing off for a client. So also high wing, this guy has chosen to go for your more like your older retro type colors. And I must say, I actually love a cream with a red and the black. It came out very, very nice. You also have different propeller, you know, can have different propeller options. You can either go for what we call the empty propeller on that aircraft there, or you can go for the Duke propeller here. So that's for two aircraft, two props. Both of them are hydraulically controlled. So it's got a full hydraulic control, blue vernier knob on the inside of a cabin. Which one is better? Again, you know, it's totally personal preference.
Extra blade goes faster, right?
Well, you know, my experience was an extra blade gives you better climb, but not necessarily better cruise. That was my experience on a Cessna 182. I would be hard pushed to tell you which one is going to be the better one. I think once this one fly, we'll be in a better position to tell you, okay, yes. This is only number 4 or 5 in Australia now. So we haven't had one with that prop yet. So we're going to test this prop now. And but according to the factory that have tested them, they say it's very similar. So there's not a big difference. But they do prefer the empty propeller. Me personally, I probably will rather go for the Duke propeller. And it's simply because the empty prop is a composite prop, meaning it's got a wooden core with carbon around it. So if you get any damage on that prop, in my view, it may get an ingress of water, which means the wood can swell a bit, which means your composite can split. I'm not saying it does it. I'm just saying that's my thinking as a possibility. On a high wing, you will get the complete fuselage because they feel that the composite work, that's all done for you. The windows, we had to fit these windows and these windows. So we do all the fitment of the windows, and you as a builder will do the fitment of the windows. You'll do all your engine firewall, you will do yourself. You will get your wings assembled, but again, you know, you have to obviously build the flaps, the ailerons, put up all the controls, get all the controls in the aircraft. Now, just one thing that I really want to point out on the high wing. I come from a composite background. We manufactured advanced aerobatic aircraft in South Africa, my company, and we were very much involved with Red Bull Air Racing at the time because my partner was a Red Bull Air Race pilot at that time. So I have got a pretty decent understanding of composite and composite structures. This aircraft, the high wing, has got a very, very, very strong cabin. Seriously strong cabin. If you look at, and I'm just going to point this out, if you look up at your interconnect between the wing and this part here, now that beam that goes down there is a carbon piece that wide, that thick. It is very strong, and you can see the interconnect there, how substantial that is. That's all 7 series aluminium. Then that beam runs through here, all the way through the A pillar, right to the engine connection at the bottom there. So as pilot, co-pilot, you sit in this composite hoop, if I can put it like that. You've got a very similar thing like that on the rear attachment there. Smaller, but very similar. And that runs down all the way here into your structure down to the bottom. And then on top of that, you've got your undercarriage. That's a solid piece of carbon that goes all the way, 2 of those in a very strong box structure. So you've got a hoop like that, you've got a hoop like that at the top, and then you've got this big hoop there. So the structure of this aircraft is seriously strong. So that's one of the things, and that's why I think in a way as well, why they could do away with struts on the wings. Because a wing strut is yes, there's a reason for a wing strut, but it's so much nicer that you do not have a strut in the way.
Blocks your view too.
Yeah, it just and it just opens up, you know, the in and out in the cockpit. So if you look, sorry, it's a bit of a mess in here. Obviously, we're still finishing off a couple of things, but if you look at the inside of a cockpit here and the cabin, it's pretty big. You know, that obviously includes your luggage space there at the back, but it's a big aircraft. So if I have to compare this aircraft to any GA aircraft, I would say this is a modern 182. And that's a very, very big advantage from this one to the low wing. If you look at where the pilot sits about there. That's pilot position. Look at that backspace. I haven't seen many aircraft in my life with that kind of backspace. It is really, I mean, even for me, getting in and out of there sorry, that's just little paint samples, but I mean, I can literally just do that. And I mean, that's my normal position. If I sort of go like slouching, it's still. So it's really, oh, you can, yeah, no, there's some, and you've got that little step there, so you can step out there on your heel. But yeah, that's sort of normally the thing. So that's the story. That's for high wing, low wing. High wing is more expensive by about, I'd say roughly about 40 to 45,000 Australian dollars. The reason being of all the labor that goes into these. The composite structures just take more labor, period. And that's why the fuselage is the portion that's obviously the more expensive part.
Yep.
Apart from that, it's hard to choose between the two. So yes.
Getting in and out is going to be the major.
Getting in and out is probably, so now we can go for a fitment. You know, so as they say, let's go to the shop and see how we try them on. Don't have the longest runways in the world. It's about 750 meters, 750, 800 with a push. And they're not super wide. It's pretty small. And when we get a lot of rain, everything is underwater. You know, there's definite advantages, you know, but it's not just the buying price. It's the fact that you get a brand new aircraft, new technology. It's all the latest stuff that's in there. And then it's just the economy of it. You know, the numbers makes a lot more sense. So this is my high wing that we literally rushed off before the Avalon Air Show, because we were supposed to have like a good month to finish things, and then literally the week before Avalon this place was underwater and we could literally not finish a lot of things. Getting in and out of the aircraft, I'll show you how. Now push the lever up and click it into position. If you want it higher or lower, we can higher or lower it with, it's electric, it's got a switch here. Okay, so you can have a bit of a jump in there to see, and then we'll get the back passengers to have like that and just swing the feet in, yep, like that. And now you can, yeah, so take that hand, put it up here, and then pull, you'll see there's a little lever down there, yep, pull it up and pull yourself forward until you're in. So is that a sort of a good position for you? There you go.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So now you can see there's quite some space in the back there. When you get in the back, the seat goes up all the way like that. I would say the easiest way is you put one hand there, and you go like that, and if you can put this leg in like this, and you can then turn around. You may find, I don't know, you may find if you go like in reverse, you can maybe get in like this as well. So see which option works better for you.
Ian was able to get himself into a 172. He's in a walker wheelchair. Oh, look at this. He's like,
That was easy as. So in the flying position, you know, you're probably gonna, I would say you're probably gonna sit about there.
oh, look at all that
Yeah.
leg
Yeah,
room.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So quite easy, yeah?
More room than the length.
So another thing that's really nice of a high wing specifically compared to a low wing, you've got really nice ventilation ducts here.
Oh, nice.
So at the bottom and at the top there, so you've got a bit better ventilation.
Yeah.
You will feel while we fly, there's a lot of air coming through the vents. I have changed the vents slightly. I've got ball vents. So the factory supply you with like a little black louver vent. They're not bad. I just don't like it, you know. So I think the ball vents, you pay a little bit extra, but it's a much better, you know, it closes off properly.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
important in wintertime. When
Yeah,
it's 0 degrees or
Oh
or
yeah,
less.
yeah, for sure.
Or you go up to 18.
Exactly,
It's really cold.
exactly, yeah. It's pretty comfy, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. All good. Oh, there you go. Good. They sort of very similar, but I would say that this is the easier one. Just mind your head. Oh, you can leave that open, it's fine, mate. So just mind your head. You know, we were so used to low wings for many years, and then we have a high wing and everybody bangs their heads 20 times a day. So you can see from the registration on this aircraft, TSI, this is Mariette's baby. It used to be mine and now she's adopted it. So they really look a bit more sporty, you know. It's a little bit more sporty aircraft, but you can go down the back there. So put your hand up there. Yep, there you go. So now you have to step in there, into the back. So still not bad, but you can see in terms of space, I'll just put this one where the pilot about will sit there. So you can see it's tighter and you've got a little bit more of a curved roof in the back. So you stay there, then you can jump in on the other side and you can just have an idea of, you know, there's two adults in the back seat there. So you have to sort of step up and in. So you see this is quite high.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, very high. But you're still, I mean, you're still very, very flexible actually. So yeah, not bad. But that's about where, this is where the seat will be for me as the pilot in the front.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, you just have that little bit of a curvature there, that just a little bit on the head there, or on the head space.
Yeah, I think the other one's definitely got more room.
It's got a lot more room. Got a lot more room in the back. Yeah, yep.
Feels like there's room, you know.
really nice for a set of golf clubs, even for snow skis, you know, so it gives you that extra space, not heavy stuff, but long stuff. Fishing rods, for example.
The 4 of us in there now on the fuel that you had, how much more weight can you?
Well, we were 4 people. I didn't even have all the fuel that I could take on board. So you can fit 200 liters in the tank, plus 340 kilograms in the cockpit. So
Plus the 4 of us.
So if you've got
That's
full
including
fuel, then we've got 340 to play with. I don't think the 4 of us
With
is
300
probably
kilos,
around about the 300, 320, 330. So if you want to take a little bit more, you take a little bit less fuel.
fuel.
That's it, yeah. So you can play with it. But if you're 3 people, then you can be 3 people with quite a bit of luggage. I mean, you
Yeah.
can put 60, 70 kilos easy of luggage in here. Yeah.
And then you can go for those 5-hour flights if you really
Oh,
want to
yeah.
torture yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Or you can just do
So-
half tanks and stop from Alice to Cooper Pedy.
Yeah, and you know the thing is, I've heard so many times people talk about a 4-seater aircraft, but boy, there's very few 4-seater aircraft in GA that you can fill up and put 4 80-kilo people in the cockpit with some baggage. Very, very few aircraft that can actually do that. So the Sling, in my view, is actually a true 4-seater. So yeah, so once it's in this state, this wing can actually now go to the paint shop. So when it gets painted, so wings can go, we can take the tail to the paint shop.
It's a giant Nakana, mate.
100%. That's exactly what it is. They've got it down pat. As long as you're organised,
Yeah.
right? So, like, if somebody came in here and started chopping all this up, and start, oh my god, because it actually is pretty chronological in the way that you use it.
That's amazing. So it is like a Kia.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it basically just comes in all the different parts. So obviously those ribs have all been built, but they came in packets. So all of those were in packets,
yeah.
so I knew exactly where they needed to go.
That's the black stuff.
That's the black stuff.
What is the black stuff?
Good question. Still trying to figure out what that is.
The technical thing was black stuff.
Black stuff, okay.
The black stuff. It's just the black stuff.
You scoop it from
Keeps water away.
Jacob's well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's what comes out of Jacob's well.
possibly. It came after the flood. But yeah, so that's like how a box sort of opens up. Actually, that one there is a wing stuff, and that'll come. That's the TSI, obviously. But when you crack open a box, that's what it looks like.
And is there an Allen wrench to put all this together with?
Yeah, rivet gun.
So rivet.
See those ribs that I was just showing you that had all been packaged up?
Yep.
That's how they come in these packs. So, like, once you do the inventory and you get into the book, all this stuff tends to work front to back.
Yep.
So you go, okay, I need to do this next, and need to do that. Pretty good. But I needed a lot of help. Getting doing the build of the empennage. There's a quick build up there that the factory's done.
Oh, okay.
I reckon I'm going to take it. I just want to get in the air as quick as I can. I just want to start flying. So, yeah. And then, yeah, we've got the engine today. So the engine arrived, which was cool.
Nice.
It was just another one of those moments where you're sitting there and you go, oh.
Yep.
So the engine was sitting there at the hangar door waiting for us today. And then once we get up to the house tomorrow, I think we start bolting that on, so that'll be cool.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all very cool. It's all ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
How good?
You get free instruction videos to boot.
Oh mate, yeah. Oh, there's way better ones than mine, but yeah. I'm glad that you were able to use it.